The Last Supper and the Symbolism of the Star. Symbolism in the Order of the Eastern Star, just for members. We have seen in recent decades a superlative interest in Leonardo's Last Supper, perhaps motivated by the book The Da Vinci Code. When Jacques Sagnières is found dead in the Louvre, placed imitating the form of the Vitruvian Man, the work of the famous painter who alludes to a star or pentagram of interest in this research. The word pentagram comes from the classical Greek, meaning 5 lines. Although the word and symbol seem to find origin in ancient Mesopotamia. The first discovery of a pentagram or 5-pointed star is related to the Sumerian civilization, 3500 BC, where it is said that it meant celestial body or star, and it is presumed that it was used as a sacred talisman. However, we want to distance ourselves from the famous novel to analyze the work from the point of view of a member of the Eastern Star, beyond the artistic field, a matter that we leave to art specialists. Leonardo was a Florentine painter who was a disciple of Andrea de Verrocchio. He was at once an anatomist, architect, paleontologist, artist, botanist, scientist, writer, philosopher, engineer, inventor, and urban planner. He was born in Vinci, a town in the Italian municipality of Florence in the Tuscany region in 1452. Leonardo was a man of restless intellect, a genius, who did not stop in his elucubrations. Through his drawings and diagrams, we can appreciate his studies on rhythmic and constant movement. His contribution to science opened a new stage in the process of civilization. He is credited with designing the helicopter, the battle tank, the submarine, and the automobile, amongst others. Florentine works for convents and churches that request illustrations on religious themes that he develops from his own vision and conception of spirituality and the universe. He is not a heretic, as some point out. He believes in a superior force that he calls the Grand Architect, God himself. The first great work of the painter's Renaissance was the Adorazione dei Magi, full of symbols, inspired by the adoration of Botticelli's Magi. Let's look at the details. Mary and the child Jesus are represented in the foreground and form a triangle or pyramid between Mary, the vertex, with the Magi who are kneeling. The Magi, the same wise men who followed a star and attended the birth of the truth, of the idea. In 1494, when Leonardo was already a renowned artist, it is believed that the Duke of Milan, Ludovico Sforza, remembered for being a sponsor of Leonardo da Vinci and other artists, commissioned the painter to create a fresco for the refectory of the Dominican Church of Santa Maria del Grazie in Milan. The Florentine chose one of the most important scenes in Christian history, the Last Supper, when the Master manifests a key theme in his speech to the apostles, the new commandment, love one another. It is necessary to point out that before and after the work of the Florentine painter, the Last Supper had been recreated by many other artists. Leonardo chose for his elaboration the scene of the story told by Matthew, where Jesus affirms, "Truly, I tell you that one of you will betray me." Apparently, the aforementioned work contains a large number of symbols that reveal a supposed truth, declared many times in countless books and media. We present a few details. We observe at first glance, The Last Supper is a large work. The mural measures 460 by 880 centimeters. Curiously, if we add all these numbers, we get the number 26. If that is reduced to a digit, we will obtain the number 8, related to the symbol of infinity that represents the resurrection, eternal life, and new life. The mural occupies the north wall of the refectory or dining room of the famous convent. According to biblical scholars, the north is the place of God's heavenly habitation. The north symbolizes the permanent or eternal. From there, it can be seen as a fixed point of great luminosity, the pole star, which is an ancient guide for sky watchers. We can also appreciate that the artist seeks balance and harmony in the distribution of the elements in the work. On a long table, he places Jesus Christ and the apostles, 6 to the right and 6 to the left. Jesus in the center, keeping the balance, like the pillar of a scale or level. Both instruments measure and check, verify the horizontality of a plan. They represent justice, good and evil, day and night, men and women, the continuous struggle of opposites. It is important to note that the balance and harmony are considered attributes of God Himself. The central image, represented by Jesus, reveals to our eyes a perfect triangle that expresses heaven and earth united in the man. The triangle is a powerful emblem of geometry, alludes to wisdom. The triangle keeps the power of the number 3, establishing perfection, strength, and balance. It is the representation of the only symbolic perfect entity, God. But the mysteries do not end there. It is said that this work by Leonardo is the result of an amazing study of the genius, associated with what is known as the golden ratio, divine proportion, or the so-called golden number that is expressed as 1618. 1618, interestingly, is the number in the address of the General Grand Chapter of the Order of the Eastern Star. It is said that the golden section was discovered by the Pythagoreans, who exhaustively studied the construction and properties of the golden ratio contained in the pentagram. Undoubtedly, it is striking to observe that the mentioned work of the Florentine painter marks a pentagram in the central figure. The pentagram is a symbol of knowledge and is placed in the center of this sacred altar, what denotes importance for the artist. Now, let's unfold this pentagram and appreciate how 5 triangles appear formed by the triads of apostles, who are separated into 4 groups with Jesus in the center. Leonardo's work is symmetrical, Christ being the central figure of the space and the reference point of all this work. The vanishing point, that is, the point where the lines of perspective coincide, is in Jesus Christ, and from Him they radiate like a shining star. The author takes special care to give depth to the work, perhaps to indicate that it has a deeper message than the apparent one. In Leonardo's time, few artists signed their work. But although sometimes difficult to perceive, they always left a mark on their works. Some researchers claim that the painter usurped Matthew's place in the scene and included a self-portrait. Curiously, Matthew is the only evangelist who narrates the story of the birth of Jesus related to a star. A myth claims that the person sitting next to Christ is Mary Magdalene. However, we consider that in the supposed case this was a female figure, it would be the mother of Jesus. The artist demonstrating with this gesture in this subtle and intricate puzzle the importance of the ancestry of Jesus, since Mary was heir to a royal and priestly lineage, reconciling Old and New Testaments in the fulfillment of the prophecies. The Last Supper is the work of Leonardo that has even received the admiration of artists such as Rubens and Rembrandt. It is one of the most magnificent works in the history of art. It is developed in oil and plaster, perhaps to demonstrate, in the instability of the material, the ephemerality of human life. As we can see, Leonardo's impressive work is full of symbols, but the symbol only suggests. Its function is to convey complex or abstract meanings, but to be understood, it requires a specific context. The symbols in the work reveal to our reason the presence of an idea, of a spiritual ingredient that remains silent, ignored by many, waiting to reveal its mysteries to the prepared hearts. Perhaps it holds teachings that have been revealed from mentor to disciple since the nights of time. More blessed are your eyes because they see, and your ears because they hear. For truly, I tell you, many prophets and righteous men desired to see what you see, and did not see it, and to hear what you hear, and did not hear it. Matthew.